Over your life, God demands your thanksgiving. Over your destiny, God demands your thanksgiving. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivered him from them all. Many of you have been confronted by challenges beyond what you knew, and yet you are still alive. Thanks be to God. There are people on diet, yet they are dying. There are people that has the best doctor, yet they died. That is why Paul the beloved said, I knew this thing, only God made it possible. And he said, thanks be to God. Child of God, listen. Let the thanksgiving of God be permanent in your mouth. Without him, you will not be alive. Without him, man will frustrate you. Without him, conditions will frustrate you. Without him, challenges will frustrate you. Paul was a beloved apostle that passed through challenges in his time. At the time, he was only the last man standing. Everyone left him. But yet he survived the voyage, survived prison, survived attack, survived conspiracy. At the time, over 40 people binded themselves together and said, we will not eat nor drink until we have seen the death of Paul. You might not have Bagalushidia, you might not be aware, but there are those trying to take your place. There are those trying to pull you into the grave, but somehow Jehovah rescued you. He rescued you. He rescued you. He rescued you. I had the privilege of praying for a young boy about 3 months ago. And he has this issue. There was a young man we prayed for one time that fainted, and God revived him, and he came here to testify. There has plenty mustache like this. Has left Pape for now. And brought some of his friends. They came and danced in the church. And someone was attacked recently, and they brought the person about 3 months ago. And while I prayed for the young boy, I asked him, I said, how long has this problem been there? He said he doesn't know. This thing just started. His eyes turning him, everything just changed. And I asked him, have you called your pastor? He said he doesn't go to church. And my question is, you are not a pagan, yet you are not a church person. And yet you don't belong to any place. And yet you don't even belong to any deity. You are just living a life of I don't care. It is working. And suddenly 2 days later, we lost that boy. He died. They lost him, not me. Because I didn't lose him. It's not part of us. They lost him. When life is working, keep working yourself to know God more. I remember when the boy died, his mother came crying, oh, pastor, oh, come and pray. I said, pray for who? Is he a royalite? I believe he belongs to a church. I already know he doesn't belong anywhere. Say, let him go and call the pastor of where he belongs to. I already know he belongs to nowhere. Listen to me. You can't call on the God you've not identified with. That is why in the book of Micah, listen, tell your friends, your children to identify with God. In time of trouble, God you don't identify with can't rescue them, can't rescue you. In the book of Micah, let's look at Micah. Micah chapter 4 verse 5. For all the people will walk everyone in the name of his God. In the name of his God. In the name of his God. Paul got victory because he walked in the name of his God. And we will walk in the name of the Lord our God. Micah 4:5. In the name of his God. You can't can't call the God you don't know to identify with you. You can't. You can't. Immediately you've got into the age of accountability, you must know God yourself. You must know God yourself. Bible said God cannot be mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, he shall do what? He shall reap. We have seen God doing incredible things. We have seen God raising the dead, all manner of miracles in the past. We have also seen the reality of people not knowing God. We have also seen the reality. And we must teach people these things. Why? Because the book of Daniel said, they that do know their God, Daniel 11:32b, shall be strong and do exploit. Why? Because you know him, you can tell him, Father, I know you. Just like Hezekiah said, oh Lord, remember my sacrifice. The dead cannot praise you. And Hezekiah that was meant to die, and Lord spoke to the prophet Isaiah and said, go back to him. Tell him I've added more 15 years.